Did any of the following happen to you in 2020? Did you have a baby or even multiple babies? Adopt a kid. How about graduating college and getting a job? Or what about getting laid off or just making less money? Maybe you got married, or the opposite, you got a divorce. And lastly, to get to the main reason of this video, did you not just get your stimulus payment in general? If one or more of the above occurred, then you might be entitled to a full or partial stimulus recovery. My name is Christian and I'm a licensed tax professional and CFO of multiple multi-million-dollar businesses. Let's break it down. Before we begin, I'm a big believer in saving time, so I'm gonna do you guys a solid. If you don't have any kids and you make over $98,000 and you're single, or you're head of household and you make over $136,501, or you're married and you make over $198,000, then go ahead, stop this video, watch something else, because you will not be able to recover any more stimulus payments. Now, if you just want to watch this video for your own information, continue right on ahead. And if you have kids, continue right on ahead. And if you made less than those just amounts I just talked about, then continue right on ahead. Let's get you some more money. Let me break it down. So for category number one, you either had a child, multiple children birthed, or adopted a kid or multiple kids. And this topic is a lot easier than the rest. And because for the economic stimulus, it was based on your 2018 or 2019 tax return, right? So obviously, if you had a kid or adopted a kid in 2020, they did not exist in your life before, and they now exist newly in 2020, you automatically are put in a threshold where you could be eligible for a stimulus payment. Now, I'm gonna make it very easy for you guys. The threshold is $22,000, okay? So, remember the threshold we just talked about earlier? 98K for single, 136K for head of household, 198K for married. If you made an additional 22K for each child over that amount, then you are not eligible. But if you are somewhere in between those amounts, then you are eligible to recover at least full or partial stimulus for each new additional child, all right? So the maximum you can get for each kid is $1,100, because that's stimulus payment number 1 and 2. So category number 2, first and foremost, I wanna congratulate you, because now you're a college graduate and you've probably got a job. Hopefully you don't have too much debt, and hopefully Biden ends up forgiving at least some of your student loan debt if you have some. But recall, back in 2020, you are still in college and your parents are kind of upset because you weren't making any money and you couldn't get the stimulus, and they couldn't even claim you to get a stimulus because you were too old, over 17. Fast forward to 2020, you're a college graduate, you got a job, you made some money, you are gonna file your own tax return in 2020, so therefore now you qualify to get the full or partial stimulus as long as you make under the thresholds that we talked about earlier in this video. Your maximum recovery is $1,800. Congrats. So for category number 3, these are for the groups of people that are probably newly unemployed, you had reduced wages, you had less hours, but overall, you just made less money. If you recall, again, the stimulus is based off of your 2018 or 2019 tax return. And if you made too much money in those years, and depending on when it was executed, you might not have gotten your full return, or you got a partial stimulus payment. Now, fast forward to 2020, you are now eligible for the full stimulus or partial stimulus because you made less money. We can go ahead and recover that on your tax return. So go ahead and find someone that can do that for you. We'll get you your stimulus recovery. All right, so category number 4, this one's a little weird and not a lot of people thought about this scenario. For anyone that got married, you might be eligible for additional stimulus. Seems kind of weird, right? But a few of my clients did get married and we ran into a situation where they are now eligible for stimulus. Take this scenario, for example. John made 100K in 2019. Doesn't get a stimulus because he was single. Emily made 30K in 2019. So she got the full stimulus in 2020, but they got married in 2020. So now their combined income, if it's the same, is $130,000, right? That actually puts them in the category where they'd be eligible for a full stimulus as a married couple. So then while Emily got the $1,800, John didn't get his $1,800, and when we file the tax returns, we can get John's full stimulus payment. Now that's a pretty easy explanation, and some couples might be in varying situations where both got partial, one got full, one got partial, but the way the numbers land in 2020, you can still recover some payments. We can go ahead and do that on your tax return. Make sure to find someone that can do it. Your maximum recovery would be $3,600 if both of you didn't get the stimulus in 2019 and saw reduced wages in 2020. That now allows you to be eligible for the full stimulus for both of you guys. So the 5th category is a doozy, and it involves you getting a divorce. Look, first of all, it's better off that you got a divorce, but we're gonna have a little bit of minor headaches here. In this situation, you either as a couple made too much money or got partial payment, got a divorce, right? Now you're single or maybe had a household and you are now under the threshold and you're eligible to get more stimulus recovery, all right? So that would be the scenario in where you would be able to, probably far and infrequent depending on how the numbers land, but at least you know that there is a scenario where this could work out. The headache is in, you're gonna have to work with your ex-spouse to determine how to split the stimulus that you guys may or may have not gotten in 2019 or in 2020, because there is no rule governing on, let's say you got a reduced stimulus, how to split it on your tax return. Let's say you got $1,200. Does she get $600 and you get $600 as you report, and then you guys end up getting an extra recovery later on? That's where you guys will have to work that out. Unfortunately, I can't do that for you. You're gonna have to do this one last step with them this time. So for number 6, I know we talked about having a child at number 1, but for this category, it's now you're able to claim like your sister, brother, mom, dad, uncle, niece, nephew, basically a relative that allows you to claim head of household status. So then now you might be making the same amount of money, maybe $100,000 as single, ineligible for the stimulus, but now you're head of household, make the same money, you're claiming, your sister, puts you above a threshold, so now you can claim additional or a full stimulus in this scenario. And last but not least, number 7, the one y'all been waiting for, and probably most of you guys are eligible for, are the ones who just never got the stimulus. If you didn't get the stimulus number 1 or number 2, you didn't get the debit card, you didn't get the check, you didn't get the direct deposit, file it on your tax return. We can recover your stimulus payments. That's all we gotta do. Just file it on the tax return. I will say though, as an aside, an FYI, you gotta be truthful on all of these categories, right? Make sure at the very least you put the correct amount of stimulus that you got. I'm gonna repeat it. Make sure you put the correct amount of stimulus that you received. Otherwise, there can be delays in processing your return, delays in your refund, and nobody wants that. And that's it. I know it's a lot of information to digest, but I know it's gonna go a long way in helping everyone in this time put a little bit of more money in your pocket so that way we can all get through this. Again, if you feel like this content was helpful in the way that I produced it, please click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that way you can see more videos from me. Again, I'm a finance and also a film professional. My content will be geared in that direction. So if you like that kind of content, make sure to come back for more. Again, remember, business is like a movie. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.